So let's talk about entities. And we're going to talk about LLCs versus C corporations. And it should be LLC/S because they're treated the same way versus C corporations. And there are advantages and disadvantages in an LLC. An LLC does not pay taxes. A C does pay taxes. The gain on the LLC just transfers to your personal tax return, and you pay taxes on that amount in your whatever tax bracket you're in. A C, you can own the C, but the C is a different entity than the LLC. And one of the problems with C is that it's difficult to get the money out of it. So on an LLC, you can take draws anytime you want, and it does not affect your taxes because you're going to get taxed on the gain from the LLC on your personal returns anyway. So taking money out of it or not taking money out of it, it doesn't change your taxes at all. Not true on a C. If you take money out of a C, the company does not get a write-off. That is, if you take money out of it for dividends, and yet you got to claim it as income. So that's the term double taxation. A C corporation, by the way, is taxed at 21%. That's their maximum tax. That's why all your big companies out there have C corporations, because in 2018 they got their taxes cut in half, which spurred the growth, generated a lot more jobs, brought the country back to one of the highest levels it's ever been in, simply because we actually reward the people that give jobs. For the life of me, I can't understand why others don't get that. You can't punish the people that are generating the revenue without punishing the whole economy, because that money just goes right back into the economy. So, and LLC's year ends, end of the year 12/31. The C can end anytime during the year that you want it to end. My house buying company is a C, and it's got one month. I think its month end is January. So if I were to make a lot of money in C and file a tax return, I got the whole. If I want to take money out of the C in January, which I can only do as dividends or salary, but I'll get to the big advantage here in a minute of a C, because it's going to pay all your costs with pre-tax dollars. So if your operating entity is a C, the most taxes it can pay is 21%. Plus, don't forget, some states like Florida have a state tax where 5.5% plus 21% on a C. But as I recall, the 5.5% only goes for part of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but ask your CPA on that one. So draws and distributions in a C, there's no tax consequences at all. I'm sorry, an LLC. LLCs, you take all the money out anytime you want, and it does not trigger any more taxes. And the only thing that is going to be produced out of a C, out of an LLC, is a K1. K1 is the profit or loss of the LLC for the entire year. It goes over into your tax return, and again, you pay taxes on its gain. And incidentally, if you got an LLC that's taking all the money and handling all the money, and got 10 properties in it, none of that shows on your personal tax return. Okay, your personal tax return will simply show the net loss or gain from that LLC, and you'll pay taxes on that. A C has its own return. It has nothing to do with you, even though you own it. It's just not taxed the same. And one of the reasons I use a C is because nowadays, after they did this in 2018, I can, if I make money in a C, that's less money I got to pay for taxes than I'm paying outside in some cases. So I got a C because I don't want the net profit and loss. Global Publishing is a C, and I don't want the net profit coming over into my personal tax returns when I'm not getting the money. Believe it or not, I don't take all the money out of Global. Okay, so in a C corporation, you can take it out as salary. You can take it out as dividends, and I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't find a few other ways to take it out, but it's going to be very difficult to get the money out of there. So a C is taxed in its own tax bracket. here's your tax brackets. I got these right off of Google. So let's go to married filing jointly down here at the bottom. Now, you see the 37% down at the bottom of the page? Okay, I'm in the 37% tax bracket. But look at these categories. I don't pay 37% until I pass the 600 and some odd $1,000 you see there. And then I'm only taxed 37% on what is above that as my adjusted gross income. Below that, which is where most people are, I am in one or more of those boxes. So in that box, I'm taxed that percentage, but in the next box down, I'm taxed that percentage. So in fact, if you look how little taxes you pay if you get down there in the low income tax bracket. So in fact, you want to shoot that, probably be handy for you. But you can get it on Google. And here's 2022, 2023, I mean. In 2023, married filing jointly at the top there. Notice that 37% bracket jumped up about $50,000, so we can make more in 23 without jumping into the 37% bracket. And of course, if you're single or not married or whatever, you're right there in that group. Google's got them all.